live.
Okay. This is the beginning of the Public Utilities Commission meeting, March 4th, 2026 at 3 p.m. I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call. We have myself, Craig, Shane, Charles is here, Scott, and Matt from the electric department. Basically, we have two agenda items. We have an update on the power plant unit number 1 and an update on the wastewater plant Mercury. So, do I have, between Charles and I, do you approve the agenda, Charles?
It looks like a great agenda.
Okay, agenda's approved. Moving on to the first item, power plant unit 1 update.
Back in January, we had a stator exciter melt on engine 1. And that's the main part of the engine that produces our voltage. And right now we're in the process of getting bids to get that replaced. It's gonna be a while because parts come from like Belgium and another part's gonna be from the United States, but then it'll be fixed right there on site.
Okay, so you're just waiting to get bids on the equipment you need,
Yep, on the parts and then what it'll cost to
install it?
get all that installed.
Okay,
Maybe next month I can bring that to you.
okay.
That's one of 3 units, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
The biggest, our biggest one,
Ah.
motor.
And is it being the fact that it's out of operation, is that problematic?
Not right now.
It would be if they were calling on us for power or,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
We can
that's
still export
what we can export.
what we have.
Yeah.
And then, but, for town, it'd be close
If the whole
for
town
what
were
the
out.
load is, yeah, and what we can produce
Yeah,
with just the 2.
Running 2 and 3.
yeah. And what do you imagine the schedule would be for getting it back online?
Ooh, I'm not sure. 2 months?
Okay.
That's a guess.
Yeah. But we'll say it's not next week and it's not July either.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay. Parts are available,
They are.
just gotta get them, okay.
And what's the expense, do you imagine?
We don't know for sure. That I'll be able to bring to you next month, what the estimate's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
He was gonna try to get it to me today, but he didn't.
But again, is this a $5,000 deal, $50,000 deal?
It'll be over 50 probably.
More than 50, yeah.
We did get one bid from Cummins. That was $138,000
Wow.
Installed?
to take that end out of the motor, out of the building, bring it to the cities, have it rewound, put it all back in, bring it back up, and install
Okay.
But the new plan is not
it.
refurbish it, rather just replace it.
Right. We want the genuine parts that are for that end
Mm-hmm.
back in there. And they do make them still, so, and we can get them.
Okay.
And we have our main mechanic who was there on day 1 who built the power plant.
Oh, okay.
Tim Panka was there from day 1, so. He said, let's not touch that one, let's go with a different route, which he found all the parts in a new company that works on just those generator ends. So,
Okay. Sounds
Where's
like-
the company? Where are they located?
they're in Louisiana.
Oh my. So they're gonna come all the way up here to do the work? Wow.
That's their main job, is to do just those.
Huh.
Interesting.
But we expect to have a bid or know more about it within how much time?
Couple weeks.
Yeah, okay.
There was some paperwork we had to get into that company. And then, once that's done, then they'll be able to hopefully get it, a bid completely made up for us.
Yeah. And it sounds like you're expecting somewhere between 50 and 100,000.
Yeah, Tim pretty much said he figured it'd be half of what this Cummins was,
Oh, okay.
so.
Okay. Then once you get the bid and the parts aligned, then you just gotta schedule
Yep.
maintenance.
Right.
Okay. Okay, got any other questions, Charles?
This wasn't related to the power surges, was it? Or was it?
No.
Or that one line being out?
No,
No, just, this is just its own thing.
Yep.
Just decided to do this.
it's over 20 years old,
Yeah,
the plant up there.
yeah.
It just turned 1,000 hours on each motor.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like a lot, does it? Or is
It's
it?
not,
Yeah,
not a lot at all.
yeah.
Did it go during the cold snap?
It went out when it was 40 below.
Oh, really?
Our last couple days of 40 below in January.
Was it running?
We were running 24 hours a day.
And around Simpa, there were a few other instances where generating units like this went down,
Hmm.
and the explanation was just when it's really cold and they're running full blast, that's when you find out
That's
things
when
are
you
gonna
find out
break,
your
you know,
weaknesses.
because they're running 24/7 full blast.
And they were run 24/7 to assist with the load just in town, or was this being exported?
It was the export.
Oh. Okay. Huh.
I was told it was a lot because Iowa was really cold. That's why we were helping.
Hmm.
So.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Okay, next item is an update on the wastewater plant concerning mercury. And I'll have Scott talk about that.
My first question is where should I start?
Well, I've heard a little bits and pieces of what's been going on, but,
Okay, all right, that's where I'll start then.
yeah, just bring us up to date.
So, back in December, we got a letter from Concerned Citizens Group that was stating that they want us to stop taking the leachate from the Cliffs Pond and Minnesota Power and Light Pond down by Taconite Harbor. And so the reason was high mercury, or they felt that there were high mercury, and that they felt that mercury was a pass-through to the wastewater plant. I can tell you that it is not, and we remove approximately 97 to 98% of the mercury that comes in. Now, keep in mind, we're dealing with parts per trillion, which is a very, very small number. And we also, in this whole process, we have changed chemicals that we use to settle the solids that at the wastewater plant. Mercury likes to stick to the outside of the bacteria. That's called adsorption. We're all familiar with absorption, like a sponge absorbs water. Adsorption means it sticks to the outside. And so the bugs grab onto the mercury or whatever's there, and that stays with the mercury stays with the bacteria. And then that bacteria goes through our sludge processing and then ends up in Duluth, where they further treat it and then land apply it with the rest of their sludge. And so, so we've had a little bit of preliminary conversations with Minnesota Power and Light and with Cliffs. Nothing has been decided. I know that Mike had sent a letter to the Concerned Citizens Group. I don't know the status of that. There was some talk about a meeting, but I don't know what that status is. And then hopefully Mike and I will be able to have a meeting with Minnesota Pollution Control Agency tomorrow afternoon to discuss some of these issues. One thing that I do want to pass along is that middle of February, we took samples for mercury. Now, this would be just the city of Grand Marais. On the influence side of things, so the sewage coming into the plant, there was a 38 parts per trillion mercury. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of a sidelight here. Our new wastewater permit allows us 6.1 parts per trillion in an average
On the export side,
on
Discharge.
what leaves the plant.
yeah.
So 6.1 is the phase one number, which is where we're at right now in that permit. Phase
Sorry, what leaves the plant in terms of discharge to the lake or?
Discharge to the lake,
Or
yes.
while it's sludge?
Discharge to the lake. So
Okay.
our effluent water, the treated water that goes to Lake Superior. So normally, we're allowed by permit 6.1. Then, in phase two, we will be allowed 1.8 parts per trillion. The results that we just got back were 0.8 parts per trillion, significantly below the permit requirement for phase two. And so I speculate that this will have an effect on us being able to accept Minnesota Power Light and Cliffs leachate, at least from a treatment standpoint. Because Cliffs is giving us 2 and a fraction parts per trillion of mercury in their leachate, and Minnesota Power and Light is giving us just over 6 parts per trillion.
Yet we are at 38.
38 is what was coming into the wastewater plant with just the city.
Yeah. And I feel like I ask this question all the time, but I can never figure it out. Where's that 38? If we're getting out of the leachate, sub 10 numbers, how come we're getting 38 in our inflow to the plant?
Mercury is one of those weird creatures that comes in a number of different ways. It can come in from the rainwater. It can come in from the ground water as it flows past granite and other rocks in the ground, because mercury is in those rocks and it comes out. And then we also get it from very old dental activities. If you've got silver fillings in your mouth, you've got mercury in your mouth. Your body does flush some of that away. And some of it could be from old laboratory activities. It could be found in old chemicals that were dumped in the ground, and they've worked their way to the wastewater plant. These are just textbook answers, not guaranteeing that they actually do happen here.
Just guessing where it might be from, right?
Correct.
And when you say it's in the ground or it had been dumped, that suggests that we're getting groundwater infiltration into our.
Absolutely.
So that's just infiltration into old pipes.
Yes, yeah, when you've got a clay tile line that's got a joint every 4 to 6, maybe 10 feet, you're gonna get a lot of water that flows in, because there's no gasket in those joints.
Yeah.
And so water flows in, water flows out. It's just a matter of where can the water go the easiest. Also, a fact of mercury is that it's heavier. And so a lot of times it'll sit in those joints. And when we get a higher flow or the right ground conditions, some of that mercury gets flushed out. In other communities, I know when the jetting activities happen, because the mercury levels go up, because those pipes got cleaned.
As they get cleaned.
As they get cleaned, yes,
Yeah,
because
the
that
mercury gets
water
flushed
just
down-
pulls it
downstream
out.
into the system, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So is there any, How often do we do mercury sampling?
We sample normally for mercury as part of our permit twice in May, and we sample both influent and effluent. And then twice in September, we sample both influent and effluent. And then the material that goes to Duluth, we sample that twice a year for mercury. And I don't know what that number that is that goes to Duluth as part of the solids, as part of the sludge. It's in the milligrams per kilogram range, which is a dry weight, dry product ratio. And we are well below the limits of what the MPCA allows us to land apply, if we were going to land apply. And WLSSD, they have to follow that same rule of, that same level of mercury. Once they start getting up to half of the maximum number, they've got to do extra sampling, and there's some other requirements. So they do their best to monitor us, so that way they don't have, WLSSD doesn't have a mercury problem
Yeah.
when they land apply.
Well, you would think from all this that there isn't really, there shouldn't be a big issue. We're removing so much of it as it is. Our effluent is below discharge rates. The stuff we're shipping off to Duluth is also well within limits. So where's the problem, or is there a problem?
The Concerned Citizens Group was raising the issue because they want as little of mercury going into the lake as possible.
Sure. Right, but yet, it seems like we should be quite easily able to tell them, yeah, we're trying to remove as much mercury as possible. Also, we were happy to do that, and we are actually doing such a good job that we're well below the limits already, and will be even below the limits once those new limits come in place, which are even more stringent.
Keep in mind that we've only done one sampling event with this new chemical. And so it's entirely possible that we might have others that are lower, we might have some that are higher. So I'll throw that caveat out there. We've only been using this new chemical for a couple of months.
The new chemical is designed to remove mercury?
It's designed to help the solids settle out better.
Yeah,
Or what that chemical does is it's essentially a magnet for whatever will stick to it. And the chemical supplier chooses the right chemical for us based off of jar testing. And so the chemical that they chose for us and that we've tried on a trial basis and for real, which we're doing now, proves that their numbers were very good. And their choice was a very good choice.
so where's mercury going? If we get 37 in and, a few parts per trillion out, both in the sludge or the effluent, where is the mercury?
The mercury goes out into the sludge. We measure mercury in the sludge as a parts per million basis, where we deal with the effluent, it's a parts per trillion.
Oh,
So it's a significant difference. There's a lot more mercury goes to the sludge than what we ever want to see going out into the lake.
I see. So then it becomes, so just on a sort of like a mass balance way of thinking of it. So it comes in at 37, we'll say.
Yep.
And we discharge at a few parts per trillion. 1, 2, 6 maybe. So there's another 30 or so that goes somewhere, and you're saying what it goes is into the sludge, and then that goes down to the Duluth and becomes WLSSD's problem.
That's correct. Yeah, that roughly 30 that you had alluded to, that is what goes to Duluth. It's exactly a mass balance, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but this Concerned Citizens, They're not so much worried about what's happening at WSST, they're concerned about what we're discharging to the lake.
I think ultimately they're concerned about what anybody's putting into the
Yeah.
lake.
Yeah,
So we'll have to see what happens. One comment that I was made aware of is that rainwater is approximately 10 parts per trillion,
just coming out of the sky.
just coming out of the sky, yes. But as that water scrubs the air,
Yeah,
and it just pulls down particulates, pulls down anything that it can. And that goes into the lake, whether it goes through the wastewater plant or not.
right.
So the concern then, you have a meeting with MPCA?
Yes, tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. And then I don't know if Mike I know he reached out, I think maybe he's waiting for the MPCA meeting. We're gonna have a meeting with the other party. But I think their concern is the cliffs and Minnesota Power Ponds. That's their concern, so I guess we're not processing that stuff right now, are we?
At the moment, we are not accepting
Okay,
their water.
until we can figure out
Yeah,
what the solution to it is
yep.
through dealing with our permit and the MPCA.
Yep.
Okay,
But I thought you just said that the water coming from those ponds has quite a bit lower mercury concentration than the water we get naturally through our sewer system.
That is a true statement.
Okay. Okay, so,
and they're two different ponds,
Yeah, two companies, two different ponds.
two companies, two different ponds, two different products in the ponds, I guess I could say.
Yep.
yeah. But,
They get tested,
right,
and they test,
They do test.
they're
for-
responsible for testing those,
Yes, they test their own liquids once a year.
right, okay, once a year, okay,
That's what their permit requires of them.
okay. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna know more after these meetings.
Yep.
are you concerned?
The plant has proven that it can treat mercury. And to meet, based off of this one sampling point, we've proven that we can handle it. We definitely need to continue sampling, and we are going to based off of our permit. And if there's ever an opportunity that it makes sense, we will take other samples. The mercury battery, is about $500 for the influent and another $500 for the effluent. So it's not a cheap test to run.
Yeah.
And so we want to be careful in doing it, but we don't want to be too careful the other direction either.
Right. And do you have any sense of what the MPCA's take on this whole thing is?
We're meeting our requirements of our permit, so I'm not sure at this point in time.
Yeah. But in theory, they should be content.
I believe they should be content, but that is just my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
How do others rate? I mean, you have Two Harbors, Silver Bay. Is that data available to compare our,
It is public data. I simply do not know how to access it.
okay, all right. Well, thank you for the information. I know that there was a meeting coming up with the MPCA to discuss the concerns that we were presented with, and we've done something to, as far as due diligence, not to accept anything right now until we can figure out what the numbers are and the new chemical that we're using, so, okay. That meeting is here? Or is it
I
in Duluth?
believe it's a Teams Teams or Zoom or something.
Oh, it's a
like that,
Zoom,
online.
okay. All right. Well, I'm sure shortly after that, or our next meeting, we'll probably be faced with some more, information, a lot more information, so we'll know more.
Yep.
Okay, got any more questions about that?
Nope, no,
Okay.
agree.
I don't have any other items. Do you have any other items?
Yeah, I
Sean?
have one thing that I'd like to talk about. So, this is concerning a scholarship program that SIMPA is offering. And a couple of years ago, the PUC used to offer a scholarship through MMUA called the Tom Bobitz Scholarship.
Yep.
And it awarded $1,000 to a local kid who's graduating and headed off to college. In 2024, so that scholarship, the MMUA, discontinued it. But in
Oh, okay.
2024, SIMPA, after some members expressed interest in offering a scholarship, started a scholarship in its stead. And there are currently 7 members that are using SIMPA's scholarship in their communities to offer to graduating seniors. And so I guess our question is, do we want to join in and offer a scholarship similar to the Tom Bobitz scholarship, but just this is money that's coming from SIMPA, and the way it would work, and SIMPA's kind of developed a framework for the scholarship, but essentially kids would apply, they would fill out an application, name and basic information, and then they would write an essay, 300-word essay on the importance of public service or some other prompt. We can change these things, and then they would list their academic achievements and their other extracurricular activities, volunteer, and so we would get an application from these kids, and I think the names would be removed. You would review and you would select.
So we did last time on the other
Yes.
process of the other one.
And so the question here, and we can, if you want to, we can build out, the application information and all the other details and send that out to SIMPA, and then they can, the money comes from SIMPA to the kid, so it never really
Okay.
passes through us. But it would be up to a board, to do the selection process.
Still $1,000K, I mean,
Yep.
$1,000.
Yep, $1,000, and I was just gonna see if
So the other one ended, is that what you're saying? Okay.
MMUA discontinued it.
Okay, well, I think,
Why not?
yeah.
Okay.
We need a vote on that, or just, we both agree that I think we wanna continue that scholarship. We've always had a scholarship through the PUC. That was,
Yeah,
similar format, similar,
and this is easy. SIMPA's offered, a rubric and a scoring sheet and an application,
Okay.
and so we can use theirs. We can tweak it slightly,
Okay.
And then we can put it out to the community.
yeah. So we have to notify them that we wanna be.
Yep. We'll tell them.
Okay,
They're meeting next week, so yeah. But I'll just send an email off to Joe and
okay,
say that we're interested.
Yeah, great.
good.
Cool. And I can get you more information, in an
I'm
official.
sure that the timing of that is probably
Yeah,
May. Sometime
Yeah.
in May,
I think.
choices are made prior to graduation, I'm sure,
Yep.
most yeah. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, but we can get the information out, put a deadline on there, and then
get
make
the ball
sure
rolling
it's-
so we can advertise it when all the other scholarships are advertised locally.
Mhm.
That's how we always did it, so.
Yeah, I think it's worth pointing out that any kind of essay or anything that you're gonna have is gonna be influenced by, you know, these language models that can write essays for kids. So just take that into account, that you may be reviewing. And the kids are, you know, the kids are learning how to use these tools in school, and so they're probably going to use them to generate.
Well, we're gonna invite them in to sit down at a desk with a
Yeah.
clean sheet of paper.
There you go.
They
So
got 2 hours to write this essay.
yeah.
Then we
So, but it's a balance, because we want kids to apply.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want just it to be the bar can't be too low, but it can't be too high, because
Right.
if no one applies for the scholarship, then we didn't really achieve our
Right,
purpose.
and the kids are applying for all these scholarships, and there's many of them other than this one.
Yep.
You know, and we got quite a few good ones last year, so it was interesting to read them. You know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
move
Yeah,
on.
I'll put that in. I'll get the ball rolling on that. So
All right.
that it.
Thanks, Shane.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
As long as you're here, maybe you could give a brief report on what seems to me to be a nice success on getting that second, or the charger
Yeah.
established out here.
Yep. So the charger's up and
Oh.
running. It's got the same power capability as the old one, 50 kW. It has two heads,
Yeah.
so it can actually charge two vehicles at once. The old one couldn't. The old one had two plugs, but if one was in use, the other one was not active. This one, you plug in two cars at the same time, or one car's charging, another car pulls in, and it just diverts the power.
Yeah.
So it can charge two at once. It's been operational for about a week. We've already had a few cars charge on it.
Nice.
Somebody dropped a nice, $33, or what did we look at the other day? $33 charge.
Yeah.
So that's much better than the level 2. People only seem to spend $6 on a charge, because it's just not enough power. But with the fast charger, they're
Can juice up
using more
quicker.
power. Yeah.
Take it.
So
They're charging.
we'll start to
large.
see more charging sessions on that. Yeah, so up and running. True to their word, Zeph did not charge us a nickel for it, so it was just kind of the contract negotiation and some legal work with the agreements, and that thing showed up, and they installed it, and they commissioned it.
They installed it, so you didn't have to do it. Right? You weren't part of it. Yeah.
These guys prepared the site, and the
Site.
pad was there, and
Yeah.
and the conduit for the power, but yeah, the rest of it was done by Hunt Electric and Zeph, and it's already up in our monitoring software. So yeah, and then the tritium charger that's over the campground is slated to be repaired still. So it's possible that we get that repaired and moved over here as well. So we could have 3 cars that get charged on fast charger. Yeah, so
It's a good improvement.
yeah, at least people will be happy to see a fast charger back in operation when
Yeah.
when the tourism season kicks off, because I know the drivers, the EV drivers, they like fast chargers.
Sure.
Yeah.
The slow chargers are not they're not doing it for them. So
No.
yeah.
Good. Good. Well, way to go. That's great to get the thing running. And
Yeah.
And I remember there's the maintenance. Supposedly, the maintenance program was supposed to be improved anyway, or at least we're optimism that it's going to work a lot better.
In theory, if there's a issue with something that is like a hardware issue, that there's like they can pull a chunk, pull a piece out and
Yeah.
then replace that piece, rather than like the whole thing
is
being
screwed,
yeah. So the ChemPower company has a better reputation for being functional, but then also, oh, this is broken, we'll just swap it out.
And we have some sort of maintenance agreement contract.
Yeah, maintenance agreement with Zeph. They'll cover our maintenance for a number of years.
Good. Oh, my brother-in-law will be happy.
Yep. Yeah. So it's out in the play, and it showed up, and it wasn't operational for about a week or two, and I was looking at PlugShare to see to see if we needed to add this charger once it was operational, and the EV drivers had already found it, photographed it, and said coming soon. So that was just a couple of weeks. You know, it shows up. No one's charging on it. No one's. It's not on the site, but they added it. Like crowdsourced added it as like this is coming soon, and now it's up, ready to go, and photos of it that you know, yeah, a very connected user group.
Yeah.
The EV drivers.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. They're just driving around, taking pictures of these things and talking to each other about which ones are good and bad. So we want to definitely have a better reputation than we did, which was, hey, this thing's broken.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Good. Well, way to go. It's good.
yep.
All right,
I got
everything?
two more.
okay. Well, then I move to, you move to,
I will move to.
you
adjourn.
move to adjourn, I'll accept that, I'll second that. Meeting adjourned, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank